Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football, taking a look at a 2023 NFL mock draft for the Detroit Lions. Again, if you guys are friends of the channel, you know I rock with the Buffalo Bills, but my second favorite team in the NFL has to be the Detroit Lions. We had a blast doing mock drafts for them last year for the 2022 NFL draft. They go out and get my favorite player of all time at the college football level in Aiden Hutchinson. This is a very fun team and a team that has a ton of potential to look way better than they did in 2022. And this was a team that towards the end of the year looked like a playoff team, has a very explosive offense. And you think about Jameson Williams coming back healthy and the potential that this Detroit Lions team has in 2023. It's a very fun team to mock for. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to you guys. The support has been awesome, especially Detroit Lions fans. We talk a lot about the Lions and how they could improve in the NFL draft. And again, we specialize in evaluating the college football prospects. You guys support us with the position of need, best fits. The support you guys are showing truly means a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get into this mock. Again, picking 6, I hear a lot of rumors about quarterback. I think if you have Bryce Young on the board and Will Anderson, I could certainly see why you'd want to go out and get Bryce Young. If Will Anderson's on the board and you look how this could potentially turn out, like, there's a chance Jalen Carter or Will Anderson falls to 6 if you have Will Levis, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud go in the top 5 picks. I think you go out and get Will Anderson. He's a bone. I know you got Aiden Hutchinson, but you want to improve the edge rushing. And Will Anderson is a guy that has such a high potential to be not only an all-pro, but his floor is so high. Like, he's going to be a great player in the NFL. And if he falls to 6 or Jalen Carter falls to 6 or even Miles Murphy, I think they'd be great looks for the Detroit Lions to continue to build through the trenches. You know that's what Dan Campbell wants to do, and it would make a lot of sense. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, and it happened this time, that would make a lot of sense. If you're Detroit Lions, I think you're taking a look at this cornerback position. This is a position that they seriously need help in. And Joey Porter Jr., we talk about it a lot, and if you've been following our NFL draft content, this cornerback class is truly insane. Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., probably 3 cornerbacks are going to be top 20 dudes on my big board. Joey Porter available at 18 overall. He's a guy with extremely good length. I mean, when targeted, was pretty much a walking seatbelt in man coverage. He's got really smooth hips. He's got phenomenal length. The only issue you want to see him clean up is the ball skills. He dropped a couple of interceptions, but I feel like that's going to start clicking at the next level. Joey Porter Jr., I think, has to be the pick. And with 2 picks in the top 20, I think the Lions do want to leave that first round with a cornerback that can play that boundary. At pick 48, a lot of different spots you could go to. These are 2 guys that I absolutely love. Jack Campbell, I think, is one of the best linebackers in this class, but Darnell Washington, I get it. You traded TJ Hawkinson. Darnell Washington would be a phenomenal pick for a couple of reasons. One, the Detroit Lions want to run the football. Darnell Washington is 6'7", 275 pounds, the best run blocker in this tight end class, pretty much a 6 offensive lineman. The second reason is when you get inside the 20, and something the Detroit Lions really struggled in is scoring touchdowns. Darnell Washington's a guy who can, when the throwing windows get tight, he has a massive catch radius. He has a great ability to go up and make those contested catches. And in the red zone, he's going to be a real weapon. For teams that want to score 7 when they get inside the 20, Darnell Washington's going to allow you to do that. And he's going to be a guy that Dan Campbell is going to fall in love with, because if you want to run the football, he's going to allow you to do that at a very high level. Jack Campbell is enticing, but I think Darnell Washington makes the most sense here. At pick 55, now you got to go Jack Campbell. I mean, I don't mean to just be chalky with the PFF boards, but Jack Campbell's a guy that I absolutely love. And I get it. You take a look at this linebacker class, and Noah Sewell's there. You want to make him play with Penei Sewell's older brother. It makes a lot of sense, but I have too many concerns about Noah Sewell in space. Jack Campbell, when you watch his film, he's the most consistent linebacker in this class. He's 6'4". He underrated ability to drop back in coverage. He has good length. He had 2 interceptions on the year, but he's got a tremendous ability to play inside the box, take on blocks, and make tackles and shed blocks. The one question you have is the ability for him to go sideline to sideline, make plays in space. But on the film, it was never a problem. He's always in control. He sees the game at a very, very high level. I think Jack Campbell makes the most amount of sense. And this is, again, a position of massive need for the Detroit Lions. Pick 81. This is where I think you could target a running back. And again, I really do like this running back class, especially the depth. And I've seen some Bijan Robinson hype, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Jamal Williams is going to ask for a lot of money. I don't know, as much as I love Jamal Williams and I love the fit on the Detroit Lions, I don't know if you're willing to dig into your pocket and go pay a running back as much money as Jamal Williams is going to be asking, especially at that age. Go get a guy in Roschon Johnson who, this is a very interesting prospect who you didn't see much because he plays behind Bijan Robinson. A very, very complete running back. Can run between the tackles extremely well, catches out of the backfield well. He's great in pass protection. And one thing you almost kind of like is he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires because he played behind Bijan Robinson. He wasn't getting 20 to 25 carries a game as almost anywhere other in the country. He's probably getting 25 carries a game. He's a top 5 running back in this class who didn't get a top 5 running back load at college. I think this makes a lot of sense. He's a former quarterback recruit too, so you can do some trick plays if you want to do that with him too. And I do think running back could be a position where you're targeting because you don't want to go out and pay DeAndre Swift next year or Jamal Williams. That's kind of what I kind of lean against, is going out and paying for above average, solid running back free agents when you can go draft a really good running back like Roschon Johnson. I think this makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of running backs. I think Tank Bigsby is another guy I like, but man, I love Roschon Johnson. Now, you don't have a 4th round pick, but you have 2 ones in the 5th round. And we'll see who falls here before we start talking. When you get to this late in the NFL draft, I want to just draft guys who have a very, very high ceiling. Ivan Pace is a guy that I really, really like as well. Taking a look at the Detroit Lions, picking, let's see here, 155. Let's get, I maybe am looking edge rusher. You got Will Anderson, maybe on the interior defensive line. I really did like Aleem McNeil. I like the pick. I think he's going to be solid. This is a great spot to go out and get another guy in the trenches. I don't see a guy that I absolutely love. Taking a look at the Detroit Lions and where they could go, and this is where I appreciate the Lions fans saying, hey, what positions in need do we need? Maybe taking a look at that offensive line, which is one of the best offensive lines in the whole entire league, but there are still some guys who are really, really good. Connor Galvin's a guy that I like. I like Carter Warren a lot as well. I think we could go get Connor Galvin. Maybe take a look at another linebacker. I did like the Malcolm Rodriguez pick. Maybe wide receiver as well. You have some speedsters. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's more of that slot guy who's just going to be open 24/7. You have the speedster and Jameson Williams. Maybe go out and get a bigger wide receiver who can go up and make some plays. Dontavian Wicks, I really like. I really like Keontae Johnson. Justin Short has been a guy that I've been really enjoying to kind of target as well. Jaden Hazelwood, Michael Wilson. I'm going to go get Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson he's not necessarily a big guy, but at the Senior Bowl, he massively improved his stock. And again, PFF hasn't really updated it. When you see the updated big board for PFF, Michael Wilson will be a top 100 player. Extremely smooth runner, extremely smooth route runner for his size, very good hands. I'm a massive Michael Wilson fan. He had a phenomenal Senior Bowl, and I think when it's all said and done, a lot of teams are really going to like him. And I think he fits that Detroit Lions offense extremely well. 183, this is where you're kind of taking, maybe take a stab at Clayton Tune at quarterback. But again, I think this team is ready to start winning football games now. And I want to go get guys who are going to help this team win now. Dan Campbell's a massive fan of getting the trenches. Dante Stills is a guy I really like. Teron Vincent's a guy I really like. Not necessarily. It seems a little early for me to go get one now. Let's take a look at the edge class. Dylan Horton, Brenton Cox Jr. Again, you got Will Anderson. I think you go get Carter Warren or Warren McClendon. Carter Warren, I'm probably going to lean to because of the ability to swing out to tackle or guard. He's been banged up, but he has that NFL body when you look at him. And then we're going to go and get Darius Rush. He's another cornerback that I think I want to make sure I'm not missing out on any other cornerbacks that I really like. Yeah, it's going to be Darius Rush. Another guy that massively improved the stock at the Senior Bowl. Very, very fluid athlete. Very, very quick feet. And again, if you're going to play him in the nickel, I think he can be a phenomenal cornerback. I think he needs some work on his body. He's still a little small, but you can't really teach the smoothness in which he moves. And interested to see how PFF, grades our mock here. I don't get great grades from the mock drafts from PFF because I do value some players a little higher than PFF does. We get a solid B. Favorite pick of the draft, I think we really did a good job working round 2. Darnell Washington, a guy that fits that offense. He fits what they need in terms of getting that run game going more behind a very good offensive line. You get a 6 offensive lineman in Darnell Washington who's going to provide value in the red zone. And then Jack Campbell, just a solid linebacker, a position that Detroit Lions really haven't found much success with. I like Malcolm Rodriguez, more of an undersized linebacker from Oklahoma State last year. Jack Campbell coming in now, 6'4", more of a bigger linebacker who can take on blocks and kind of be a force in the run game. This makes a lot of sense. This is a very good Detroit Lions mock draft. And again, didn't do any trades, but I could see the Detroit Lions working some trades into this as well. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. As usual, let us know in the comment section what you guys think, what positions that we might have been missing out on. We appreciate the support you guys have shown. And again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Talk to y'all later. Peace.